Well, tonight's Raw, I was going to do a what we just learned, but the only thing we really learned was that now Bailey's going to be in the title picture for the women's match, which is I don't know how I feel about that honestly. I don't know if she deserved to be in there. And then another thing we learned is that Enzo is really buried. Like since his little incident that happened in the locker room, that dude has been just deleted, as if Matt Hardy just deleted him out of existence in the WWE. And that's really all we learned today. Today's kind of review thing that I'm gonna go for. I don't know if I want to call it a review. It's more of a. I think Peter makes it right. Like I'm not a professional. I'm not like a journalist. I don't dissect things. But just to have an open dialect and discussion with you guys. So this is still gonna be titled "What Did We Just Learn from Raw?" But we're just gonna have like a quick discussion about everything that's going on that happened in tonight's show. Again, guys, this is Fusion Corp with Bernie here. Thank you guys for listening to these podcasts and short little videos that we do. Remember to like, share, and subscribe our content, and just let us know in the comment sections of any video that we do what we can do better. Because I'm trying to improve myself overall, as just in terms of talking and getting our name out there. So just any feedback in the comment section will do. But let's start off with a go home show review for Monday Night Raw, September 18th, 2017. So we start off with Kurt Angle coming out, reviewing the two WrestleMania-like matches that are going to be happening at No Mercy, which is this Sunday, with Roman Reigns and John Cena, and of course, Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. The Miz comes out to talk to because he felt that he's left out of the match again. The Intercontinental Championship is left out, making it not important. But Kurt Angle says that we're going to have it ended up being a six-pack challenge, but it was originally just going to be Jason Jordan, Hardy Boys, and Elias. But The Miz convinced Kurt Angle to put the Miztourage in to give him a chance. And The Miz comes out in this promo that he cuts with Kurt Angle saying that everyone is paying for the mistakes that you made, to Kurt Angle, talking about Jason Jordan being his son, because The Miz feels like, and I don't know if the rest of the locker room feels this way, but they felt like the opportunities that have been awarded to him have not been rightfully earned, and that they feel just because he's Kurt Angle's son, that's how he got those opportunities. So, Jason Jordan comes out, he cuts a promo. I'd probably give it a 60 out of 100 if I was grading it. That's like a D. Which is, not very it's not pass. It's passable, but it's not anything spectacular or even average. Which is a real big shame, because I do like Jason Jordan as a wrestler. I like the way he wrestles, his style, his size. He has the total package, except the promo talk still needs to work on it. I'm not sold on him yet. But, then we get a little backstage promo with Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan talking about how you can't let the stuff affect you, all that, all the generic stuff. It's too generic, and that's what the theme of this Raw is that it was very generic, very subpar Raw. For your go home shows, you want angles that make sense, like what we got with I believe it was SummerSlam with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, where we got the fist bump finally, so they're ready to challenge for the tag team titles. So I wanted something like that on today's Raw, and that's not what we got. I'm not going to bore you too much with all the matches that we had on the show. Of course, we had the Alexa Bliss Nia Jax match, which was interrupted with Sasha Banks coming in and then Bayley coming in. So that started a little feud. Nia Jax getting her ass kicked by Bayley, Alexa Bliss, and Sasha. And what I saw is that Bayley didn't get the big cheer reaction that I thought, not that I thought she would, because I felt like it was still too early to bring her back, especially after what happened, where she got her ass kicked by Alexa Bliss by a kendo stick. It was just too much of that shit that we just didn't really want to see out of Bayley. It's too soon for her. She already just got her butt kicked. Let the character die down a little bit and then bring her back for like a huge pop. I just don't think this San Jose. I mean, I know it was her hometown, so of course they wanted to bring like a hometown appeal to it. But at the same time, it just didn't make any sense for her to come in because she didn't have anything to do with this match. But of course, I don't know what the reasoning is as to why she's in this match. Maybe because she was originally owed the title shot. But whatever the case is, Bayley is now in this match, which to me makes no damn sense. I'm sick and tired of these superstars not earning their way into these matches. I understand like they gotta put the asses in seats, but this to me is just a very lame and lazy booking. That was just like, oh, we're just gonna add Bayley because she's there. So that was a little frustrating in my opinion. Too much of this like not verbal, but this garbage that I'm seeing from the women's division. Like it's starting to become bad again, especially on Raw. I mean, Sasha Banks is one of your best wrestlers. Asuka's coming in soon. I mean, just keep these traditional one-on-one matches. I mean, we don't need to see... Oh, no, it is a 5-way because Emma's in there. Man, how can I forget about Emma? I always cheer for Emma. But yeah, Emma's in this match as well. And we all know that Emma's probably going to be the one taking the pin. So, of course, we're not going to see Emma really do anything in this match that'll wow any of the fans and maybe garner new fans. We're just going to see probably Sasha Banks and Nia Jax probably carry this. Alexa Bliss is probably going to be out of this match most of the time. Bayley's probably going to have that Hulk Hogan-esque just selling in the corner after she takes a huge bump. And yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of disappointed in this already. So we'll just move on to the next thing that I saw. And I guess the one thing I did want to bring up was the Roman Reigns... Or not the Roman Reigns. Yeah, we'll start with the Roman Reigns and then we'll go to the Brock Lesnar stuff. So with the Roman Reigns, it's him only this week. John Cena's out somewhere. Roman Reigns brings up the point that John Cena did this once to The Rock, where he went Hollywood. I mean, that was a point that he probably should have brought up at the beginning because it was an obvious, parallel. But nevertheless, Roman Reigns wins this week's promo battle because John Cena wasn't there by default. And I think they just kind of lost steam with this. I mean, they had a good opening kind of promo the first week that they started to build this feud up. And I think it just kind of died down a bit because Roman Reigns wasn't really doing anything on the mic that was like witty or cunning. It was more just him being fed lines, remembering what he needed to say. And of course, John Cena has the wits to come up with stuff in his head, so he knows what to say to Roman Reigns when he's in his groove, making fun of him and doing all that other stuff about drug tests and all that kind of things. The only point that I got from this little segment from Roman Reigns was that Roman Reigns automatically wins the promo battle because by default John Cena wasn't there. So that was lame there. But of course we got a really good one with Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Paul Heyman still selling the underdog card for Brock Lesnar. No one's ever stood up from a suplex, is what he said in his promo. And Strowman was pretty good on the mic. I thought he was excellent. I mean, whether he was reading off a card or not, I thought he looked pretty good. He sounded pretty good. He sounded intimidating. Like, it was someone that is not afraid of Brock's BS. Just because Brock is who Brock is. Beats The Undertaker, undisputed champion everywhere he goes. I mean, Braun Strowman's not scared, and that's what I like. It kind of makes it seem like they want to make Brock Lesnar the babyface, but I still think Braun Strowman's the babyface because the crowd still cheers. I mean, you can notice in the crowd they cheer for him. So I'm just a little confused on that because I think WWE has a chance to have the face of the company be Braun Strowman because of how big and athletic he is. I mean, we're getting back to those days of the big sweaty men, but I think Braun Strowman is the exempt one because of the way that he is, the way that he carries himself, and the way that, I think they accidentally built him up with the James Ellsworth stuff and also with the Roman Reigns feud that they had going on. I mean, Braun Strowman lifted a freaking ambulance and survived a murder attempt on him by Roman Reigns. So, of course, Braun Strowman's going to be put over through the moon. A year ago, if you would have said Braun Strowman would have been in this place, everyone in the wrestling community and even the casual fans would have laughed at you because they didn't really believe in Braun Strowman. But of course, he's making believers out of everyone now. And of course, Brock Lesnar with the last lines going to be taking Braun Strowman to Suplex City, bitch. Which is, of course, your typical Brock Lesnar line. Nevertheless, still a good promo. And I think I talked about this earlier, but the thing that in the what we learned section of this video, I mean, it wasn't very long, but what I realized is that Enzo's backstage antics are catching up to him now. It's week after week now that he's been buried. He got the fluky win against Cass. Then he started turning heel. He started doing heelish things. And then all of a sudden, he's getting buried. He just got attacked by Braun Strowman. Running powerbomb. Dead on the floor. Neville comes out, laughs at him. And I agree. I would laugh at him too because that was really funny. I mean, Enzo is just treated as like an annoying rat or annoying pest that needs to be exterminated. So that's the reason why people are laughing. I'm sure people in the back are like, all right, Enzo, I mean, you can't be doing this shit anymore. You can't be, flaunting your shit when we know that you're just like everyone else. You're not really that rich. And then, of course, you cheated on Liv Morgan, which, bruh, what are you doing? Why are we cheating on Liv Morgan? She's so fine, and you're such a dumbass. But nevertheless, Enzo's in the back, getting healed up. Neville had a match with Grand Metalik, and of course, Neville won. I mean, I swear there's like the Cruiserweight. I mean, I might make a separate video, or we might discuss this on the podcast this week. I want to know like why the 205 Live show itself and also the Cruiserweight division is just terrible. Because the Cruiserweight Classic was such a good show. I mean, Mauro Ranallo and Daniel Bryan did it justice the way they called it. And I wish they would have called the Mae Young Classic. But nevertheless, I still don't know why the Cruiserweights aren't getting over it. I mean, they need to take the ball and chains off of them when they're doing their moves. I mean, their style should be different than the WWE style. That's what should separate the Cruiserweights and why you want to watch them on Monday Night Raw so you can get a taste of what you're going to get on 205 Live than, what we have now. But I digress. We then will end this review with the little six-pack challenge action that we got with the Miz Taraj, the Hardy Boys, Elias, and Jason Jordan. Very good match, very hard-hitting. Some good spots from the Hardy Boys. Of course, tag team moves, which always confused me, especially when your tag team is just in it together. I feel like it works for the heels because they can do that dumb spot where they work together and then they realize that they're going to be going against one another, so they fight each other. But for the faces, they should be smart and realize that they need to start fighting each other because there's going to be a battle between them and who is ever going to get a chance at that IC title. Of course, we got to the end of the match where Jeff Hardy was about to pin, and The Miz comes in and blocks the pin, gets Jeff Hardy out of the ring, and then Jason Jordan, of course, comes in. I believe he suplexes him, if I remember right in that. I wasn't really paying attention that much because although the match was good in some parts, this Raw was very boring and I was just kind of asleep. And Jason Jordan comes in, pins Curtis Axel, 1, 2, 3. Jason Jordan is now going to be facing The Miz at No Mercy. And of course, at the end, we had a little beatdown on Jason Jordan from The Miz Taraj. And The Miz cutting a promo calling Jason Jordan a bastard. Again, a funny line. But, this segment, not this segment, but this, Jason Jordan push. Why don't we just do this organically? Let him have some more good matches where he loses again, and then eventually people will get behind him because he loses so much, but he's so close because he's so good. Although his promo skills aren't there, you can still get away with it. But nevertheless, they forced him up to the IC title picture, and we'll see where it goes from there. And that was your Raw, guys. Nothing really that exciting in my opinion. Nothing to write home about, especially on a go-home show. I was left very flat. Not enthused that we're going to get this type of action, which makes me not excited for this No Mercy pay-per-view that we got for next week. I mean, I'm going to be doing a preview and prediction show. Maybe I'll do it with Peter if he's in the mood to do it because I know he doesn't watch WWE stuff anymore. He's more New Japan. But hopefully we can do that, No Mercy, and talk about it a little bit. Well, that's going to be it for this What Did We Learn episode. I'd like to thank you guys again for sticking with me. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe this video, and I will holler at you guys later. Peace!